an event to go to, so I figured that we could chat, and I'm gonna get ready and answer a bunch of questions that I've been getting a lot lately. DMs, comments, emails, all of the things. And then, let's just chat and talk and get ready. You can guess the event that I'm going to as well. It is a concert. So I want to preface this by saying I am by no means like some kind of makeup expert, hair expert, anything of the sort. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl who loves beauty and just likes getting ready and likes feeling pretty. And so you see me, I'm gonna do my best. Starting off with being as shiny as possible. I'm not one of those people who likes a matte face. I actually really love glassy, glowy skin. That's my go-to. I'm like, I think I look healthier. I think I look better. So even when people are like, oh, your skin's getting shiny, I'm usually like, I don't care. Because I think it's proof of youthful, like healthy skin. Like that's just kind of my thing. So I doubled up. I did both the Glotion from L'Oreal and also the Yummy Skin Glow Serum from Danessa Myricks. This is a winning combo, the two of them together. And since we're getting ready and doing beauty, one of the questions that I want to start with is, what's one product that you refuse to leave the house without? And truthfully, it's probably lip gloss. Like this one is nearly empty. I am a lip gloss girl. I'm a real, I love a good lip gloss. And I'm the type to have like 4 or 5 different ones in my bag. They're all within the same color, but that's just my thing. I'm also gonna do a bit of underpainting. I don't know if you guys know that technique. I love underpainting. It's basically like, just kind of like layering your stuff. That's the best way I could describe it. So as you see, it's like I'm starting with all the things I want to just kind of pop. And I get very aggressive with it. A question I get a lot is, what made you take your career into your own hands and start creating and producing? This is like just kind of a frequent conversation that I have in general. And honestly, I'll give you guys like just kind of like the long answer. So one, I'm a Black girl in the entertainment industry. There is never a time in which we have had it easy. Okay, never. So I have always known this and thought this, that like, if I was gonna get ahead in any kind of way, if I was gonna have any kind of agency with my career, any kind of moment where I felt really good in my career, I was gonna have to be the one to take control of it. And so that's really where it started, is just kind of seeing other women in the business who I respected, who I thought were really doing great work, and seeing the ways that they had to become producers and whatnot in their careers in order to just be respected, in order to just be seen the way they wanted to be seen, things like that. And then honestly, I'm true millennial, real millennial core, where I came about in a time when YouTube was starting. And while when I was a young girl, I didn't necessarily know like, okay, how am I gonna take control of my career? Like, what does that mean? Am I gonna have to become like as famous as Halle Berry or something like that, and then I get to do my thing? It was like, I'm not sure when this is gonna happen, but it's going to have to happen to some extent. And then YouTube happened. And with YouTube happening, it essentially gave you creative freedom. Like you could just kind of do your thing. You could, I don't know, it had no rules. YouTube still is like that to me. It's like, it's very wild, wild west. And when I started on YouTube, this was 2008, 2009. And that's what it was. And I'm so grateful that at that age and that stage in my life that I wasn't afraid, that I was like, let's try this. And it really came out of, again, frustration. I had just done this movie with Nickelodeon, and I really didn't have that positive of an experience on it, in the sense of I was heavily marginalized and a lot of microaggressions. I was the only Black girl on it, as usual. And everybody treated me like the only black girl, from the producing team to the director to some people in the cast, some people of color in the cast, and obviously white people. But at the same time, I grew more and more just, I don't even know if frustrated is the word. After a while, I saw it as like really comedic. I was like, yeah, here I am, just trying to do this work that, mind you, I've been doing since I was a little kid. You know, like I've been in the entertainment industry literally since I was a child, like a toddler. So I'm more than qualified, and yet I'm having to not only prove myself, prove my worth, and also having to somehow be a representative for like all black people ever on the planet, all in one sitting. And so it was a very frustrating experience, and I came out of it like, you know, every black actress I knew, no matter the level they were on, whether they were the most famous woman on the planet or like just starting out, all just wanted to just be a woman in the business, just wanted to be an artist. I really felt that way, especially at that time. And something about YouTube allowed me the freedom to kind of start to feel that artistic expression, to do the thing. So yeah, I started I guess you could say, taking control of my career because, well, if it wasn't me, who else was gonna be? And I had been in the business long enough. At this time, I was in my very early 20s. I was like 19, 20 years old, 2021. And I just saw that like no one was gonna give me the chance that I deserved. No one was gonna fight for me the way I needed to fight for myself. And so as frustrating as it was, it pushed me to have to take this leap. And luckily, I started my YouTube journey with my friend Shannon. We started our channel, Those Girls Are Wild, and it was so much fun and so innocent and just all the things. And so yeah, as wild as my start into it was, like, you know, you could hear that story and maybe run with the negative parts of it, it was actually incredibly positive for me because it was the push I needed to be the creative I'd always been. I've always been a writer, I'd always been a producer, I'd always been like kind of like leading the pack in like, let's make something. So to see a platform like YouTube kind of come about and there was no real rules, that's what essentially pushed me. I'm so thankful for that version of myself who did that, because here I am, oh my God, 10 years plus later, and it's been one of the most exciting parts of my journey because it has allowed me so much freedom in other parts of my creative life. And I was ahead of the curve, baby. So I always encourage people, like, if you have any kind of creative thoughts, any kind of like, oh, I'd really love to do this thing, but I'm, you know, I don't know how, I don't know where to start, I don't know. Don't think about those parts of it. Just start. Just do it. Like, as cliche as that sounds, just jump out and do the thing. Because, you know, it's like you only really get one chance. And the thing that I think about a lot right now, like right now I'm in this phase big time, is I keep thinking about my future self. Future self, future self, future self. Everything for me is future self. And that's because I've done this enough times to know that the work I'm doing currently is going to affect the next 2 years, the next 5 years, the next 3 years, whatever that is, of my life. And so that's why I say that version of myself in 2008, 2009 that started YouTube, she didn't know just how impactful those years were going to be for her in 2010, and then in 2013, and then in 2015, but they all matter. And so if you have any kind of creative idea, just do it now. Just start right now. A question I get a lot is, how do you stay grounded while also being delusional about your dreams? I think I've kind of mastered this. This is kind of my bag. I don't even know if delusional is the right word. It's just really, really optimistic. You start to realize how much you have to believe in yourself, and that you really like that is the form of survival. Like, that is the air, that is the that is the water. You have no choice but to just delusionally believe in yourself. And so it's not even a matter of like being grounded and delusional and all of those things. It's like, there is no other way for you to live. And that's just like, that's why I like to go back. I'm like, that's why you have to start making stuff, because you'll start to get a sense of just the way people try to limit your beliefs and try to limit your freedom and your creative expression. And the more you experience that, the more you realize, oh, like, pardon my language, but fuck those people. Like, I have to move forward. I have to believe in myself, because nobody else is. No one else is coming to save you. Like, you know that saying? That's a real thing. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And so that's where the delusional optimism just comes into play, because you have no other choice. You really don't. A question that I received that I thought was really interesting, because it kind of made me pause, was, what's been the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself in the last year? And I won't lie to you, I kind of think I'm still figuring that out. I'm in a transitional phase of my life in general, and that is what's making me say like that I think I'm still figuring out what the lessons are in this time, because I am aware of the transition. I'm aware of the discomfort. I'm like, yeah, and maybe that is the lesson, now that I'm saying it out loud, is that like, you know that you'll be okay because you've been through these kinds of phases before. Oh my gosh, I feel like I should explain this. I'm got my hair into, these are not the overnight things. These are, I don't know what these are called anymore. They're old school. People have them. Anyway, I've got 2 in. I'm not a hair expert by any means, but this is what I'm working with. So, didn't explain that in the beginning. I think I'm still learning. I think I'm still in process. I'm still in class. So I don't know just yet the true lesson that I'm learning, but I do know this, is that you know you'll be okay even when you are going through transitional spaces, even when you are going through phases that feel scary and feel unsure. The one piece of sureness, the one piece of, let's call it comfort, even though it's a scary time for you, is that you've done this before. You know you'll be okay. You know you'll be okay. You just gotta hold on, baby. You've just got to hold on, and that's all. That's all you gotta focus on. It's just like, okay, I gotta hold on. Let me just hold on, because I know I'll be okay. That's the space I'm in right now. Big time. And you're not alone. You know, like, you're not alone. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, because it's a lot of, right now, like I said, that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm in class of my own life currently, because there is no like big like aha necessarily. It's many ahas all the time. And I think a lot of it has to do with just like, oh, I'm okay. I've been here before. And that's aging as well. Like, that's the beauty of aging and the phases of aging, because you start to get to a place where you're like, this is nothing. This is nothing. I would have been afraid 4 years ago or 10 years ago, or I would have been worried, or I would have been stressed, or I would have been anxious, or I would have been this, I would have been that. But this version of me knows we'll be okay. I remember I had that once with a breakup. It was a breakup that came after one of the biggest breakups of my life. And I say after, like as in maybe like 2 years or something like that. And it wasn't as long or as serious of a relationship, but it was still a breakup nonetheless. And I just remember coming out of it and thinking, you'll be okay. And you know you'll be okay because you got through one of the most dramatic and traumatic breakups of your life, one of the saddest times of your life. You got through that. So this little moment, this will be nothing. Like, I really felt like that. And normally, guys, I'm a total lover girl. Like, I'm very, like, all in with people. I'm not, like, disconnected in that way in a relationship. So, like, that was, like, a very shocking I guess, you know, moment for me, or revelation for me, because yeah, I really felt like, we'll be okay. And I was, in the end, I was totally fine. And so, yeah, that's why I'm like, that's the space I'm in right now as a girl, is just like, yeah, the lesson that is to be learned is currently in process. And one thing we know is that we've survived every single obstacle or challenge that has ever been presented to us. So in this time, we will be just fine as usual. Something that I get a lot also is, how do you balance being seen online while also practicing like your peace and your privacy? You know what, I'll say this. I'm always really like surprised whenever people tell me like that they think I'm very good at like kind of sharing, because I'm incredibly private, like very, very private. So I don't always think I'm that great at it, because I see people share like real parts of their life and I'm like, oh, I'm not that girl at all. Like, and you guys are in a unique dynamic relationship with me, because you get to hear kind of long-winded stories, but in reality, I'm like, I can be a little shy. I'm much better like at a one-on-one. Like, any of my close girlfriends would say this to you, like, I do not call nobody, but you want to go to lunch? We can go to lunch, and I will talk to you for the next 4 hours at lunch, okay? But outside of that, like trying to get me on the phone to talk, like just totally overwhelms me. And even one of my girlfriends recently sent me a text like, we need a date, like let's figure something out, or a FaceTime would be okay. And I literally looked at that statement and I was like, I think I just responded back to her like, let's go to our normal restaurant, like, because that is much easier for me to do than like, let's hop on a FaceTime. So I think this, I know the story that I want to tell when I'm getting into the online space. I know the things that I want to share. I know the things that are important to me and that I think will be important to other people, or that I think somebody can learn from, because I just learned this. And that's what I focus on when it comes to sharing. And then the rest of it, I've seen many people say this online, I don't share anything that I don't want people's critique on, or that I don't want people to have an opinion on. And I think that's the way that you maintain your peace, is you know that you're like, yeah, no, certain things are not for the online consumption and other parts of the story are. And that's what you take joy in, is knowing that you're like, I have this part of the story that I want to share. And so let me just figure out more ways to share it, more ways to be intimate with this part of the story that you guys understand or will like or will listen to or learn from. That's kind of the balance. What's something that people get wrong about you? I think this is a very fun question. I think because of my tiny stature, my tiny speaking voice, my tiny way, that people think I'm just like nice all the time. And I always tell people this, I'm very kind, very generous. I love the people that I love. Never consider me nice. Only consider me kind. Never consider me nice. And I say that because I think people take advantage of people that they think are nice, and I'm not one to take advantage of. That has not been my experience. I am quick to cuss you out. I am a Leo, a fire sign, a West Indian, all the things. So that's something I think people get wrong about me, is that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't even see you upset. I can't even see you like this. I can't even see you like that. I don't want to be upset. I don't like to be upset. But I will be upset if I don't like something. Does that make sense? But I'm kind, real kind. And so before I decide to pop off on somebody, it takes a long time for me. I gotta really be like, okay. Because in reality, I don't want to say this thing, but I will. Never afraid, never afraid. I am naturally confrontational, but not in like, I look at confrontation as just like, I am not afraid of the uncomfortable conversations. I'm perfectly okay with them. I will always lean into them because I'm okay with them. A question that I've gotten before in the past is, do you ever feel like giving up? And I'm like, no. What is that? What does that mean? Whenever I see people say that, like, oh, I want to give up, or I this, I'm like, and do what? Like, tell me what's the other thing you want to do? Because then we can have a conversation about that. But I don't like to hear the word give up. I think of it more like, well, do you have another goal elsewhere for something else But give up, that's never been a thought in my mind. I really only have a certain set of skill sets. This is one of them. A question I get a lot too is about confidence. People always tell me that I look really confident and like, how do I do it? And da-da-da-da-da. Experience. That's the truth. It's just like, I've lived my life. I've experienced it all. I've tried things out. I fail, I try, I do again. I believe in all of my stuff. And so ultimately that's what has given me confidence, because I'm confident in my experience at this point in my life. And so, yeah, that's the long short of it. Something that people email me about a lot and don't always know is that I have a creative consulting agency, because people email me with creative concepts on a regular basis. Email me about helping them with creative concepts, working with them on creative concepts, and I actually love doing that kind of work. And so every single person that I work with, it's very different in terms of what they are asking or requiring. And so oftentimes what I think that people don't understand or know always about me is just like how much I love to talk or strategize about creativity or your goal or your idea. I like love stuff like that. Okay, I am nearly done. As you can see, I don't quite know what I'm gonna do with my hair just yet, because I'm gonna be wearing a hat, so I don't know how much of my hair I really gotta do or not do. I'm gonna do the rest, and then I'll see you guys on the other side. If you guessed that I was going to Cowboy Carter, then you were right! I am excited, baby! Are you kidding? So, this is my full look. I'll also put in more clips, but nonetheless, this was a little chatty chat, little Q&A with you guys, getting to know me a little bit more, some questions that I get on a frequent basis, and now your girl is about to hit the streets and go to see Queen Beyonce. Bye!